Good morning students. In this lecture 6th of mechanics, the next topic which we are going to discuss is rotation of angular momentum vector L vector about a fixed axis, and that fixed axis is the axis of rotation. So first of all, how this angular momentum vector rotates. Actually, we know that in this chapter we are studying the rotation of the rigid body. We are studying the rigid body dynamics. So when any body, rigid body, it rotates about an axis, then there may be two cases. In first case, angular momentum vector L vector, it may coincide with axis of rotation, or in the second case it may not coincide with axis of rotation. So today we are discussing the case in which this L vector, it doesn't coincide with the axis of rotation. In that case, the direction of L, it will continuously change. In the general case, what we will take, that if the direction of L vector, which is angular momentum vector, if it does not coincide with the axis of rotation, then its direction is changing continuously. And if its direction is changing continuously, it means we will derive the time derivative of, or you can say that rate of change of this angular momentum vector. And one more thing, that how this angular momentum vector, it rotates about a fixed axis. We know that when any rigid body, it rotates about a fixed axis of rotation, then the rigid body, it has large number of particles in it. So then its constituent particles, they trace circular path about that axis of rotation. And here we are discussing the case of change in the direction of L vector. And if the direction of L vector is changing, it means this L vector, it will also rotate about that fixed axis of rotation. Now we will understand this, that how the direction of L changes and how this vector L, it will rotate about the fixed axis of rotation by taking the example. So here we are taking the example of two particle rigid rotator. And what is this two particle rigid rotator? It is actually the combination of two masses, two equal masses, which are joined by the massless rod. This is a massless rod of any length, and the two masses, point masses, equal point masses, they are joined with the help of this massless rod. And this is a two particle rigid rotator, and this two particle rigid rotator, it is rotating about this axis, and this axis, which is the x-axis, it is the axis of rotation, and this axis, it is passing through the center of mass of this two particle rigid rotator. So here the rigid body is a two particle rigid rotator, where we have connected, we have attached two equal masses, small m, to the ends of the massless rod, and the length of the massless rod, suppose it is 2a. And at any instant during its rotation about this axis of rotation, it is mass, this mass is at point A, and this mass, it is at point B. At that time, suppose r1 vector is the position vector of this mass, such that OA vector is equal to r1 vector, and r2 vector, suppose it is the position vector of this second mass. And this, suppose this two particle rigid rotator, it rotates by making angle theta with the axis of rotation. This angle will also be theta. And the direction of angular velocity is along the axis of rotation, along x-axis. It means this two particle rigid rotator, it is rotating about this axis of rotation, that is x-axis, which is passing through its center of mass with uniform angular velocity omega. And we will discuss about this direction of L vector later. Now, if this two particle rigid rotator, if it is rotating about x-axis, then it is having angular velocity omega, and the direction of omega is along x-axis, which is the axis of rotation. So therefore this omega vector, it will be magnitude into its direction, and direction is always given by the unit vector. And what is the unit vector along x-axis? It is I cap. So omega vector, it is equal to omega I cap, and suppose this is equation 1. And as the rigid particle rotator, it is rotating about the axis, so it will also possess some angular momentum. So what will be the total angular momentum of the rigid body? It is the summation of the angular momentum of all of its particles. And this two particle rigid rotator, it consists of two particles. One is at point A, another one is at point B. So it will be the sum of the angular momentum of two particles. And what is the formula for angular momentum? It is R cross P. So here it will be R1 cross P1 plus R2 cross P2. And what is the formula for this linear momentum vector? It is mass into velocity, so into V1 plus R2 cross mv2. Mass of both the particles is same, point masses. So then the angular momentum of two particle rigid rotator, it will be R1 cross m. We know that if V1 is the linear velocity of the particle and omega is the angular velocity of particle, then how the two are related? V1, it will be equal to omega cross R1. So this V1, it will be equal to omega cross R1 plus R2 vector cross product with m, and what will be V2 vector? Its relation with omega, it will be omega cross R2 vector. So now we will find the values of omega vector, R1 vector, R2 vector, and then we will put all those values in this equation. So now suppose this equation as equation 2, and we already know the value for omega vector. Now we will find the value for R1 vector. To calculate R1 vector, what is R1 vector? This is point O and this one is point A. Its position vector is R1 vector, but its magnitude is A. And this portion, it is making an angle theta with the axis of rotation x-axis. We know that this vector R1, it lies in xy plane in the figure which I have shown earlier. Here this particle at point A, it lies in xy plane. It means this vector, it will have x component and y component. Means it will have its component along x-axis and y-axis. So this R1 vector, it will be equal to its component along x-axis into I cap plus its component along y-axis into j cap. Now what is the component of this r1 vector along this x-axis? We will find it by drawing a perpendicular over here, and the hypotenuse is a, then base will be a cos theta if theta is the angle between base and hypotenuse, and this perpendicular will be a sin theta. It means the coordinates of this point A, as this point A it lies in the first quadrant, so its coordinates will be a cos theta and a sin theta. And we know that any position vector in xy plane, it is equal to xi cap plus yj cap. And what is the value of x component? It is a cos theta. What is the value of y component or y coordinate of point A? It is a sin theta. So this r1 vector, it is equal to a cos theta I cap plus a sin theta j cap. And suppose this as equation third. Now calculate the value of r2 vector. Again the value of r2 vector will be x into its direction, x component into its direction, plus y component into its direction. And what is this r2 position vector? This is the position vector of second particle on this side. This point mass m, it lies at point B and in third quadrant, and in this quadrant this is position vector r2 vector. Its magnitude is a. So what will be its x component and y component? The value of its x component, it is along negative x-axis. And what is the unit vector along negative x-axis? It is minus I cap. And the direction of its y component will be along negative y-axis. And what is the unit vector along negative y-axis? It is minus j cap. And what will be its x and y component? Again, if this angle is theta, then this is also theta, vertically opposite angle. So in this triangle, this will be base, this will be perpendicular. So this will be equal to a cos theta and this will be equal to a sin theta. So what will be the coordinates for this components of this x and y? So r2 vector, it is equal to, the value of x component is a cos theta into minus I cap. So we will write it as minus I cap. Then the component, this y component, it is a sin theta into minus j cap. So we will write minus here, minus j cap. And suppose this is equation 4th. Now put the value of omega vector from equation 1, r1 vector from equation 3rd and r2 vector from equation 4th in this equation 2. So what will be the expression of L now? L vector, it was equal to r1 vector. r1 vector cross m, omega cross r1. So what is the value of r1 vector? It is a cos theta I cap plus a sin theta j cap. This is r1 plus m, then omega cross r1. So what is the value of omega vector? It is omega I cap, omega cross r1. What is the value of r1? This. So put this value again, a cos theta I cap plus A sin theta j cap. So this is R1 vector plus M. This one is omega vector cross, again this one is R1 vector, plus R2 cross M omega cross R2. So what is the value of R2 vector? It is minus A cos theta I cap minus A sin theta j cap plus M. What is the value of omega? It is omega into I cap cross, again the value of R2, it is minus A cos theta I cap minus A sin theta j cap. So now solve the cross products. Write it as it is. A cos theta I cap plus A sin theta j cap plus M. Here you can see I cap cross product with I cap. I cap cross product with I cap. We will have the magnitude of I. Here you can see I cap cross I cap means magnitude of I cap into magnitude of I cap into sine of angle between the two. The angle of vector with itself, it is always 0. And we know that sine 0 is 0. So I cap cross I cap is 0. So this we will have 0. Then plus I cross j. I cross j. I cross j is k. This you might have studied in 10 plus 1 that I cross j is k cap. So here we will have omega into A sin theta. I cross j is k. Here we have R cross P. So here we have cross product. R cross P. Here also we have cross product. So first we have solved this cross product which is equal to this, and now we will solve this cross product. So plus, write this as it is, minus A cos theta I cap minus A sin theta j cap cross product M. Now again I cross I will be 0, then minus omega into A sin theta. I cross j is k. So now solve this cross product. How? Here we will have I cross k. This is the cross product. This one is the magnitude part. So write it here. It will be omega A square sin theta cos theta into this M. M omega A square sin theta cos theta. I cross k. I cross k is minus j. So minus j cap. Now plus M omega A square sin square theta. M omega A square sin square theta into j cross k. J cross k is I cap. So here we will have I cap. Then now here this minus and minus will be plus M omega A square sin theta cos theta. Again this I cross k will be minus j. And this minus and minus is plus M omega A square sin square theta j cross k is I cap. So now you can see both of these terms are same. and both of this and this, these two terms are same. So add these terms, we will get L vector is equal to 2m omega a square sine square theta into I cap minus 2m omega a square sine theta cos theta j cap. Now take the common terms outside the bracket and you will get that this L vector, it is equal to, here you can see 2 is common, m is common, omega is common, a square is common, then 1 of sine theta is common. So inside the bracket we will have sine theta I cap minus cos theta j cap. So this is the required expression of angular momentum vector. When the two particle rigid rotator, it is rotating about the x-axis as the axis of rotation. And suppose this is our equation A. Now read this expression. This expression will tell you about the direction of angular momentum vector L vector. How you can decide the direction. This is homework for you guys, that find the dot product of L vector with R1 vector. Also find the dot product of L vector with R2 vector. We already derived the values for R1 vector and R2 vector, and we have just derived the value for L vector. Find the dot product of these two. So you will see that both of these dot products will come out to be 0. And when dot product of two vectors, it comes out to be 0, it tells us that the two vectors are perpendicular to each other. So when the dot product of L vector with R1 vector comes out to be 0, dot product of L vector with R2 vector comes out to be 0, this implies that L vector, it is perpendicular to R1 vector and R2 vector. What does this mean? That the direction of angular momentum vector, it is perpendicular to the two particle rigid rotator. So here you can see L vector is perpendicular to R1 vector and R2 vector. It means its direction is this. Why I have not taken the direction as this? Because this direction is also perpendicular. Also watch out for the coordinates of this L vector. What are the coordinates of this L vector? The coordinates of L vector are, this is x coordinate. Here you have plus I cap. And this is y coordinate where you have minus j cap. It means x-axis, x coordinate is positive and y coordinate is negative. And it only happens in fourth quadrant. It means the direction of L vector, it lies in fourth quadrant. So that is why I have not taken the direction of this L vector in the second quadrant. Because L vector comes out to be perpendicular to R1 vector and R2 vector. So its direction can be this or this. But why I have taken the direction of L vector in the fourth quadrant? Because the coordinates of L vector, it is positive x coordinate and negative y coordinate. It tells us that this the direction of L vector at this particular instant, it will be in fourth quadrant. But it will continuously change. Why? Because this L vector, it will remain always perpendicular to this R1 vector and R2 vector. As this two particle rigid rotator, it will rotate about this x-axis. So at some points, its direction will be like this. This mass, it will be at this point, and this mass, it will be at this point. So at that time, this two particle rigid rotator, it will be like this. At that time, what will be the direction of this L vector? Along this or this. You can find from the coordinates of L vector at that time. So these two masses, they will trace, because they are the part of the rigid body, so they will trace a circular path about the axis of rotation. Here you can see. So as the rigid body is rotating, and this is always perpendicular to that massless rod, that is to r1 vector and r2 vector, it means the direction of L vector, it will also continuously change. And if this direction will continuously change, then we will find this dl by dt. But how? We know the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. This is the general relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. And what is this linear velocity? It is actually dr by dt. So if this dr by dt, if it is equal to omega cross r, then on the similar note, we can write dl by dt is equal to omega cross L. It means we can find this dl by dt by putting the values of omega and L. Omega vector is omega I cap cross, what is the value of L vector? It is from equation A, 2m omega a square sin theta into sin theta I cap minus cos theta j cap. So cross product of this with this, I cross I will be 0. Then I cross j, it will be k. And what are the coefficients? It is 2m omega square a square sin theta cos theta into this negative. And what is this dl by dt? We know that this dl by dt, it is equal to torque. So when the direction of L vector, it is changing, it means L vector is not a constant vector. So its dl by dt, as L is changing, so dl by dt will be non-zero. If dl by dt will be non-zero, therefore the torque will be acting on this two particle rigid rotator, and this is the value of torque. And this minus k cap, it tells us about the direction in which the torque will act or torque is acting. So it tells us about that the torque is acting along negative z-axis, means into the plane of the paper. If this is the xy plane, this paper is the xy plane, then positive z-axis will be out of the paper, perpendicular and out of the paper, and negative z-axis will be inward into the plane of the paper. So the direction of torque will be along the negative z-axis. So from this article, what we can conclude, that if the L vector is not a constant vector, it means its direction is continuously changing and it will always be perpendicular to the position vectors of the particles. And one more thing, if the direction of L is changing, it means dl by dt will be non-zero. It means torque is acting on the rigid body. So torque is also non-zero. And as the value of L is changing, the direction of L is changing, so direction of torque will also be changing here. Now special case, and what is this special case? This is the axis of rotation of the two particle rigid rotator, and if this two particle rigid rotator, it lies along y-axis, it lies in this way, it lies here. This is point A, this is point B, and this is R1 vector and this is R2 vector. Then in this case, this two particle rigid rotator, it makes an angle 90 degree with the axis of rotation. Means in this case, theta is 90 degree. In this case, this two particle rigid rotator, it will rotate in this way along y-axis, about the axis of rotation, which is the x-axis, and it is passing through its center of mass. So in this case, theta will be 90 degree. So what will be the value of L vector here? It will be 2m omega a square sin theta, theta is 90 degree, into sin theta again 90 degree, I cap minus cos 90 degree j cap, and we know that cos 90 is 0, sin 90 is 1, sin 90 is 1, so L vector will be 2m omega a square I cap. It means it will act along x-axis and its direction will be fixed. Why? Because this two particle rigid rotator, it will rotate in this way, and L is always perpendicular to this and along positive x-axis, so its direction will be constant. And if the direction of L is constant, here it coincides with the axis of rotation. In that case, L will coincide with the axis of rotation, that is x-axis. This is axis of rotation. It means its direction is not changing. If its direction is not changing, then this dl by dt will be 0. You can also calculate it. We have also calculated the torque, formula for the torque, minus 2m omega square a square sin theta cos theta k cap. Sin 90 is 1, but cos 90 is 0. So it will make this 0. So no torque will be acting on the two particle rigid rotator in that case. So this is all about the angular momentum vector about the axis of rotation.